Hi friends, Cassie here. Welcome back for another video here on my YouTube channel. Today I'm so excited because I am guesting with Picket Studios this month. And so let's talk about their new release that just came out today. I'm using the Coffee Understands Again stamp set along with the matching dies that you can get separately. I love anything coffee, especially the little sentiments, that cute girl, you know, your coffee stains, just love it. Then we have our simple plaid stencil. It's nice and big. We're also going to be using some Twinkle Lights Gold Paper Glaze Luxe. And then we also have some Iridescent Moonshine sequins. And there are different sizes in there, and those are beautiful. You'll see those as we get to them. So first of all, we're going to start by stamping out a few of our little coffee rings. I love that this is a little heart one. I'm going to stamp that a couple times. I'm using some Hurley Create Weeping Willow ink. It's a nice brown. And I'm stamping this onto some craft cardstock. And I just love that brown on there. I think this is going to make a nice fall card. So really excited about that. Then I've got another piece of cardstock that measures 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches that I'm using a blending buddy on. I'm just going to blend the ink on the edges of that cardstock. And this is the full size of an A2 size card. That's the full front. I just want to make sure that I have a nice blend all along the edges of this cardstock. And then I'm going to clean up my mess. And then we're going to pull out my tonic platform. We're going to take this panel and we're going to attach it down to the platform, and then I'm going to bring in that adorable simple plaid stencil, and we're just going to tack that down using the magnets. And then I'm going to bring in the Twinkle Lights Gold Paper Glaze Luxe. This stuff is, it spreads on like butter. It just goes on so easily. I don't have to worry about like really trying to squish that in there. It's getting on there super easy. The cleanup was super easy as well. I assume that this is one of those things that you're going to want to make sure that you clean up right away. I wasn't going to take any chances, so I went right to the sink and cleaned that right up. And then we're going to set that off to the side to dry. I need to stamp out my girl because she's adorable. And so I have a piece of Express It cardstock, and I've got some Blackout ink that I'm going to stamp our girl onto. And then I am going to color her with some alcohol markers. So I've got her skin tones. We're starting with some OR 1.1 just to put down a base. I like to go light to dark. And then we have some OR 3.4. I should have zoomed in for you, but I didn't. I guess I was just kind of in mode, super excited to color her up. And then I was thinking, as I wanted to color her sweater, how much I would love to have a hot pink sweater. Whenever I put pink on, especially pink, I just feel happy. I don't know about you guys. Is there a color that when you put that on, it just puts you in a better mood, makes you happy? Because for me, it is definitely some pink. I don't have a lot of it in my wardrobe, but whenever I put it on, I'm telling you, it just changes my mood, and I love it. All right, so doing up her hair now. We want it to be brown. Maybe I was just kind of thinking this could be me. She's definitely a little thinner than I am, but I do like to read, I do like coffee, and I would love to have a pink sweater. And I do wear glasses. Now, my hair's not curly, but she's super cute. Okay, so moving on to our sentiment. There are some really funny sentiments in this one. And I have some black sentiment cardstock. I'm going to have that linked down below. I'm going to stamp out my sentiment onto that after I used a anti-static powder tool, stamped that using some juicy embossing ink, and then I covered that with a fine detail white embossing powder. And I really like this cardstock because it is super smooth, so it makes embossing really easy. The next step would be to die cut out all of our pieces. So I'm pulling out the dies, and yes, there are dies to go with all of our sentiments as well. So I'll tack that down with a little bit of mint tape. Obviously for our coffee stains, I'm going to have to do that a couple times, but as you can see, I got them all ready. I'm kind of playing around with placement now, and our background through our plaid stencil is all dry. So we are ready to start doing a little bit more to it. So I'm going to sprinkle or splatter a little bit of some Distress spray stain on there. I think it was a brushed corduroy. I did not write that down, but I do think it was a brushed corduroy. And as that dries, it kind of dries back a little bit, but I think that helps along with that coffee stain, which makes me happy. I'm going to use some foam strips on the back of our girl, and I did use some liquid glue on top of her sticky back simply because those foam strips are so thin. I'm not using it on these thicker foam squares, and that's simply because they cover a lot more area, so they're going to be able to touch more through the glitter paste, you know, the Twinkle lights, the paper glaze. But just to be on the safe side, I wanted to make sure that she wasn't going anywhere, so I used liquid glue on her as well. And I'll just put that stamp block on top of her to make sure that she doesn't go anywhere. And then while we're letting that dry, I'm going to stamp another sentiment on the inside. Just so much fun. Coffee doesn't ask questions. Coffee just understands. That front one, I don't know what I'd do without coffee, but I'm guessing, I think that's what it says, I'm guessing 5 to 10. I just think that's fun. Anyway, all right, so I've attached down my panel to a card base of some more of that craft cardstock. I did have to trim it down just a little bit. And now I am pulling out some of those Iridescent Moonshine sequins. I'm going to be fairly liberal putting those on there. I'm using a pickup stick. There's some big ones, some small ones. And yes, that glue looks white through the sequin, but when it dries, it will dry nice and clear. You'll see that in the picture at the end. But I love it. I'm using that Barely Art glue. It's great. And I really love how this card turned out. It just makes me happy. Love it. So I hope you like it too. I'm going to have a link down below to my blog, so you can go check that out. And if you like this video, be sure to hit that like button. Definitely consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.